Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a little puppy break before I was starting to film this video. If you haven't seen my last video where I talk about this is not real life, you know, they kind of show the highlights, the Instagram highlights. The one thing I wish that they had done would just be like, look, I can't show you my work. There's like an NDA and stuff like that. But what it ends up coming off as is like, this is all I do. And I know that's not how it is because I don't like making those like negative type videos. I just wanted to point some attention to it. So in this video, I want to keep it wholesome. You see this guy? See this douchebag on the screen right here? This is me over a year ago. I'm guilty of it. I made one. So I thought I'd roast myself and explain what I'm actually doing here. And then we look at some other videos that are pretty relevant to what I've experienced. I actually woke up at 4 o'clock every day and I worked 5 to 1 because I didn't like being in the office that much. And our office, the actual office where the other coworkers were on the East Coast, and they ended work at like 3 or 4. So when I ended at 1, it was already 3 o'clock for them. So it didn't really matter, and they let me do it. I was the only developer in this office here. Oh, it was so cold. Oh man. So this one's actually true. I do listen to audiobooks. Whenever I'm in my car, I try to make it like mobile university pretty much. I'm always listening to audiobooks to and from work if I have a commute. Alright, so here's my cubicle. I got one 4K monitor, a little side 1080p monitor that I stole from some guy that like quit, I think. And then I have like all my little plugs here on the corner. That's my keyboard, by the way. That's a K90 Corsair, if you're wondering. And then some little shitty Dell mouse that they gave me. So this was a Windows. I dev'd on Windows. It was a C# job. So to do C# typically here on Windows. So I always start my day off writing down what I need to do today. I've kind of like changed my style a little bit. I use Trello boards and my iPad, and I have Evernote now, so I'm not so much on paper because I found when I was using paper, I would be rewriting things over and over that I didn't get finished and they would transfer, and I was like, why do I have to rewrite this? Just do it once and do it digital, and then you can... Okay, so first of all, let me just pause this. I don't even drink coffee. I literally just put coffee in this because devs are supposed to drink coffee, right? Like I actually don't drink coffee. I go to the gym and I drink pre-workout, and I think that has enough caffeine for me for the day. I was outside filming this. My fingers were freezing. I think I had to cut like half this off because my finger just kept like jolting to the left, and like these were the only smooth panning shots I could get. All right, so here we go. We have a Trello board. You can see some of the stuff. I didn't even blur it because I don't think they cared. Backlog, and then we had to do. Obviously you can see I haven't taken anything yet, I'm not doing anything, and then we have done, and then we have a wait list. And so I had 3 monitors. There's my Slack over there. I always got Slack open, ready for the memes. And then I used Visual Studio. It wasn't Visual Studio Code, it was like Visual Studio Community. So we had stand up at 10 a.m. East Coast. It was 8 a.m. for me. So by that time, I had been coding for about 3 hours. We hop on a call on Skype, but you know, it's not really stand up for me here because I'm remote, or they're remote, or we're just not together. And so here you can see I'm front end. I'm working on a brand new dashboard. Here you can see it's got graphs, and it's got like this kind of user profile over here. And I got my two coworkers that I'm working with that we're hopping on a call. We're going back and forth. We're screen sharing. So if you don't know me, I'd always go to marketing, and I'd always go to different departments and like reach in what they're doing and how you do business. He was the VP, and so when the CEO wasn't there, CEO worked remote a lot, but he'd come in. The VP would be here, and I would ask how he runs his business and how they business expense things and how all the business side of stuff works. So I'd always go like push to be like, is there anything I can do for the business? Anything I can do like design wise, or I'd always ask about marketing and business. And so he would bring me in, and slowly he's like, you know what, let's talk about this. Let's see if you can take care of this on your own. And so that's what I did. We would sit down and we'd have a meeting, and I'd like just straight up take notes. He was pretty intense. So then I would go meet with my boss, like my real boss. So this is my boss. Her name was Jenny, and she's telling me what she wants me to include, I guess the soonest release we were about to do. I remember right here, I had to stop her, and I had to explain to her. I was like, you can't actually do, like, I get that this looks simple to you. I get that this one little change where we take the navigation bar and we put it here and we turn it into breadcrumbs. Yeah, I get that it looks easy, right? You got your sketch open. This is going to need some redesign for the information flow that we're going to have to use here. If you see her face, she's like, really? This is me attempting to explain it more, and as you can see her face, she's like, yeah, okay, Josh, just get it done. Even brought a GoPro to do some, yeah, GoPro, here, you don't ever see that stuff. Actual coding, FPS coding, look at that, FPS coding. Okay, so here's some more real life stuff. I remember she said, so, hey Josh, we've decided to take a different direction with those panels. Can you please restructure the table and paneling system? Screenshots are in Zeppelin, thanks. If you don't know what Zeppelin is a place where you can put your designs from Sketch into, and it'll kind of give you some HTML and CSS to work with to give you some specific design parameters. But basically she's like, yeah, actually after looking at this design and this design, we've decided to restructure everything. And that was real reaction. So I get that it looks like, wow, he leaves so early at 12:30. I didn't leave at 12:30. I would leave at 1 and sometimes a little bit after 1. But you know, I do my 8 hours, a little bit over, and then I would go. But it was 5 o'clock for me, but it was 7 o'clock for the coworkers, and the coworkers like to work from 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So I was like, hey, can I do 5 to 1? And they're like, I guess. I didn't do that initially when I first got the job. I kind of negotiated that. I was like, so I'll do like 9 to 5. But then it started to get to the point where I would have questions for them because they were doing back end, I was doing front end. I would have questions and they wouldn't be in the office anymore. So I was like, can I just match their office schedule? I don't mind waking up early. And they were like, yeah, sure. But it didn't start off like that. And then eventually I just negotiated remote. I just negotiated myself out of the office. So towards the end of the day, I would stop and then I would like push up my code and, you know, get everything ready. Like this is fake right here. Fix a bunch of stuff. Like I did this whole thing. This was fake. I just made this so I could film it. I had to convince them to go to Git. When I first got this job, they were using TFS, which is Team Foundation Server, which is no good. Only one person can edit a branch at a time. Like TFS just says, here's a feature, and if you want to work on it, it's locked out, and no one can touch this until it's done. So you don't have like merge conflicts and stuff. But anyways, I remember I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna walk past and we're gonna like bro fist and I'm gonna leave. And he's like, all right, dude. We did it like 3 times because we kept missing, like Dumb and Dumber. Hey, look, there's my car, my little Nissan Juke. This is what my dad drives now. You know what was a real pain is that I set my camera up 4th floor where I worked and I pointed it down at my car, and then I went to go get that shot where I walked in my car and I had to come all the way back up like Les Stroud in Survivor Man and get that shit, and then I could put it back in my car. And then I got Drew to follow me with the drone. We lost signal as he was following me. The cement parking structure was not having my 2.4 gigahertz drone. It was just not happening. So I got literally like 2 seconds of footage before it almost crashed. There's my dingoes. We got, oh, there he is. There they are. So the white one is Oko, the black one is Suvi. They're both Finnish names because I lived there. And that's it. That was kind of day in life. I kind of, let me go to another video where I think it's actually pretty accurate. Things that I didn't film. So for whatever reason, I think in software, there's just a lot of these rooms with a big TV or a whiteboard and white tables, and everyone just kind of sits around. And they have this one thing at the center of the desk where everyone conference calls in, but at the beginning of the conference call, no one can figure out how to use it. So it takes like 15 minutes to set up, and it's like, is it the cord? No, I think it's your computer. Actually, I think it's the conference call thing. Well, hold on. Oh, are you good? We can hear. Oh, you can hear me now? Okay, we're good. And then the meeting starts. So it's about like 15, 20 minutes of that at the beginning of every meeting. So this looks to be like a meeting with a bunch of different departments where everyone's kind of getting together to make sure that they're on the same page, pretty much. So right here, I just want to point something out. They're talking about the meeting that they're about to go to, but Homeboy's got his Slack out, and you know there's a picture of a puppy and probably some other memes that are going on in there.
Where should we start? Let's smiley face.
So again, we have more white tables for no reason and that thing in the middle for the conference call. And then they're using this thing because basically you like engineers can't read the whiteboard if it's an actual whiteboard, and you have like potato quality Google Hangouts. So they use this thing and share this as a screen, and they can write on it, and then the remote people can see it. This is pretty accurate of what like your typical open office would look like. I'm not a huge fan of open offices. There's usually some guy in the back kind of chewing loudly, or a guy that likes to sing, and you can have the best Bose noise canceling headphones in the world, but you're still going to hear that guy sing. This person can see through here and see this person's screen, and the people facing this way can see vice versa backwards. And it's just this weird kind of like forced peer pressure. Even though this person right here is working, when this person walks by, you're going to see this out of the corner of your eye, and as much as you think that's like not a big deal, that kind of like adds up over the course of the day. So like put me in a corner, put me in my own room, or just let me work remote. Oh, he's just got to blur everything because he doesn't want to accidentally pick up any code. Here you go. This is really accurate. Right here, all these dishes, someone's going to get called out for not doing their dishes. I'm just waiting for that moment right here.
I thought I'd have more time this afternoon to sit at my desk and do work, but I ended up having 2 debriefs.
This part right here where he's like, I thought I'd have more time, but I ended up doing this instead. Just insert that entire sentence. I have a degree and I thought I'd have more time to get this done, but I ended up doing this. One thing I really appreciate about this is that even though he didn't get everything done, he's just like, you know what, it's time to go home.
I don't usually leave this early, but the last couple of weeks I've been working quite late, and it's a bad habit, and I want to stop doing it. And I usually
Self-aware of him to say that, like, I know that I have a habit of working late because I really like what I'm doing, so I have to make it a goal of my manager to have a work-life balance. And then there are people who are in the opposite, kind of like me, who just want to like get their work done and go. And like I get that doesn't make me a great employee, and I'm aware that it doesn't make me a great employee, which is why I do this and make videos. And some people really like their job, and it made it look like, well, it's not okay to enjoy your job. Absolutely okay to enjoy your job if that's what you enjoy doing. I'm more of the there's more to life than this, and then some people are like, well, this is my life and I enjoy doing it. So, you know, for those people, more power to you. I just have more than one interest. That's all. And no big. Some people like doing one thing all day. Some people like doing many different things, but they don't get that opportunity unless they're not at work or it's a weekend. So this right here, I found this day in the life of software engineering intern. She's pretty real, pretty down to earth. Like what you can just barely see here in the background. Like this is the most real. Hold on, like homeboy in the background, she's just like, I'm not doing any work. This is straight up YouTube in dark mode. Doesn't even make any qualms about it. But he's got that corner desk, right? So he can do it and not get guilt tripped. But it doesn't really look like there's too many people in that office right now, anyways. But you know. Alright, so this is all I wanted. This is for my last video. This is all I wanted. Just do this, but just blur it out. Be like, yeah, dude, obviously I can't show you this. I'm gonna get fired. Get distracted. Ping pong right now. This is the most accurate. I bet above this, which you can't see, is like 9 pages of nothing but GIFs. Absolutely nothing but GIFs, probably. So I said GIFs and GIFs both ways, so you people out there that said I pronounce it wrong, now you can't get mad. Obviously we have Mayuko here, so this was like the one that kicked it all off. Mayuko's like OG here. So the actual stand-up here, we got homeboy Jarvis. He don't work there no more. Mayuko, and then I don't know who these people are, but more LaCroix. I think LaCroix just must be like a San Francisco thing. So like what it looks like is like they're never working and they just had lunch and they're going to get some coffee, but like the reality is that this coffee shop is probably like 2 feet away. More work, makes sense. So the thing with Mayuko's video is that she doesn't actually give timestamps, but what she does do is show actual code. This is the only one. Like I think I show code in mine, but Mayuko actually shows code in hers. You know, pretty short video overall. We don't have a whole lot to work with here, but I don't want to come off like as a really jealous person. A lot of people are like, you're just all these flavors and you choose to be salty, and I'm like, no, it's not like that. I think the representation of not showing your code and not prefacing the video by saying I have an NDA, I can't show you, that's kind of how it works, so I'm going to show you all the perks, like makes the job look like you're not doing anything. I bet Luba does a bunch of work. I bet the other dude that works at Toyota that we're not supposed to know he works at Toyota that owns a Tesla does some work, but the way that you can edit these videos is to just make it look like Instagram highlights. And so I just wanted to show some more realistic things of what's like really accurate from these videos. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos kind of like this, or just more videos from me in general, maybe hit subscribe. But I just wanted to keep it wholesome. I'll try not to be a negative person, but yeah, here's part 2. I hope you enjoy it. I think the worst thing about this video was probably my hair a year ago. I'm out, guys. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.